So we're gonna work on the daisy painting. I've decided, I was talking in my last vlog, the behind the scenes of Art Hang Party, that I had this 2 foot by 2 foot canvas and I wasn't sure, I was pretty sure, wasn't sure what I was gonna do on it. So I'm gonna do daisies. I prepped the background with a mixture of gesso and acrylic paint. Color, oh man. Brilliant blue acrylic paint, Liquitex heavy body acrylic, and gesso. I don't know, that's what I like to do on my background so it's not white. And I think the background of the painting is going to be kind of a sky blue anyway, so might as well get us halfway started. I had a lot left over. I mixed up a lot because I didn't want to run out. I wanted to make sure I could cover the whole thing. I prepped used some on a spread in this Talon's Art Creations sketchbook. That was upside down. It's the big one. It's the big Talon's Art Creations. I also did my regular Art Creations sketchbook. Clean edges. Clean edges. So that's that sketchbook. And I also did the front cover of a fresh Talon's Art Creation sketchbook. Anyway, that's not what we're here for today. Today we're here to paint some daisies. So I did prep work of this on my iPad. I'll see if I can quickly pull it up. So it's 9 daisies. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. Daisies, here we go. Need a background color. So it's going to be sort of like that. And I got the daisies from a picture that I took in my aunt's garden. It's not quite my grandma's garden, but my aunt's garden, which I think is just as impressive. And they all kind of look into the middle, which I liked. So it was a cluster of daisies that I picked out individual ones. So I think that's going to be really cute. I'm a little nervous when it comes to the shadows and stuff on the daisies, but oh, here. I guess I started, there's with the yellow centers. Anyway, I then took it into Illustrator and put it on a big 2 foot artboard and printed it out to scale. So I'm gonna cut these to size and tape them together, and then I'll tape it up on the canvas and put I have some carbon paper that I'll put behind it, and then I'll trace it out. So let's do that. It's very big. All right, this is a very awkward angle, but I think you can see everything. So let me see if I can figure out if this lines up, how this lines up. I can do this one. Yeah, I don't think this printed proper. Because like that should overlap, but it like here should overlap. It didn't print right. think that's 2 feet. It's only 23 inches. So there's some things that didn't print right. I think I need to go and redo the file and print it out. Okay, here's my file. This is a 12-inch by 24-inch by 24-inch canvas. So I added in these squares here. So I think when it prints out, it'll be easier to do that. And I might actually add them in the corners as well. Okay, so I added them along the top and bottom, you see that? And then in the intersecting corners so that when it prints out and I do the overlap, I should be good. Let's hope. Okay. It didn't quite work out the way that I had originally thought that it would or that it had in the past. But I think I figured it out. So there we go. I don't know why, like, this should have duplicated down. There's an overlap. There's like a 1/2 inch overlap on the file. So I don't know why it didn't overlap. It's so weird. It's so weird. You can see up here, like, I mean, maybe I should make, no, because the centers are all the same size. So I'm just gonna have to draw that in a little bit. So I'll look at the original reference and see how that goes, because I can't see how that lines up. But I'll just redraw that bit. Yeah, so then what I'm gonna do is I have this pack of carbon paper. So I will probably one by one stick it behind the daisies and trace it out so that it is on the canvas. I don't think I'm going to record that. I don't know if I'm going to do that now. It is time to take Simon for a walk. It's a little bit snowy, but now seems like a good time because I think it's supposed to be pretty stormy later. And I'll see how far I get on this today. I don't know. It's a process. So I'll leave it there for right now. So you can't really see anything on here, but I've traced the daisies on there. I'll grab the camera and do just a quick pan of it, but I got the daisies on there. Let me show you. So you can see I managed to trace them all. If I can back up. No, anyway. Phase 1 done. I will continue on recording the process next time I work on it. Yes, Bobby? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Do we have treats? Do we have treats? Can you shake? Yeah, good boy. Other paw. Other paw. You see that drool? There you go. He's gonna want to play. It goes dinner, then treat time, then playtime. So I might have to be back. But today's Monday. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to minus 20 degrees Celsius with the wind chill today. You want some proof? Oh, sorry, it's only minus 8. Without the wind chill, so whatever that means. It's cold today. Hence the cozy sweats and whatever's going on. Yesterday was Sunday, and I worked some more on the daisy painting. I got the sketches all on there, which I think I showed you. And then I did the first pass layer of white. I don't know if I'm going to work on it today, but I'll show you in a second where we're at with that. It's just a lot of physical work painting on such a large surface, but I'm going to do some sketchbook time, so I will maybe show you a little bit of that. I filled up my Lamy Safari fountain pen with some black ink. I've been using really dark green in my fountain pens lately, but this one has a bold tip on it, or medium tip maybe. Anyway, and I finished watching a Melanie Chadwick Domestica course on food recipe illustration, and her techniques were so much different than what I was expecting them to be, because I know her as a plein air landscape artist. I also know she's an illustrator, which is why I wanted to do her food illustration course. But she did a lot of sketching on her sketchbooks, a lot of different things, a lot of building textures organically using ink and sponges and things found around the house, which was really neat, really cool. But then she did outlines using brush pen and then scan them into Illustrator or into Photoshop, clean everything up, put it into Illustrator, and live trace them, which I do. I do that a lot. But then she did other things that, it's playtime, that I've never done. So I really want to try that. I don't know if I'm going to illustrate a whole recipe. Maybe I will, but I'm going to search out some food on the websites, the Pinterest, the Pexels, the whatever, and do some sketching, I think. And then this week is actually a pretty busy client work-wise, so I don't know how much I'm going to get into using Illustrator and whatever, but at least I'm going to do some sketching in my sketchbook with just the fountain pen is what I'm going to do today, because that's what I feel like. And I'm also going to make the color palette for Art Hang Party, so I will show you how I do that as well, starting on my iPad and finishing in Illustrator, also using Live Trace, an illustrator's best friend, apparently. Okay, I gotta get Simon some water. We're gonna have a play session, and then I'll show you where the daisy painting's at. Well, if this is in an awkward angle, we're just recovering from playtime. Mission accomplished, successful endeavor. Let me show you the painting. And pardon any dust bunnies if you see any. Again, 2 foot by 2 foot daisy painting in the making. Thank you, Bubby. So I traced, can you come down here? Yeah, okay. I traced the daisies out, finally. I had to do some, I printed them out twice and they didn't print properly. You remember the whole thing. Anyway, and then I did the first pass of the brightest white of the flowers, and I used a mixture of white and cornflower blue. So it's not pure white, even though it probably looks like it. Yeah, next steps, I'll do a pure cornflower blue in the shadows, so any of the empty spaces on the flowers will be pure cornflower blue, and then I'll go in and do the mid-tone shadows, like the vines on the petals and stuff like that. I did do some tests yesterday in this guy. So I had the leftover, I think I showed you. Did I show you? I don't know. I did. Sticky. So I had the leftover gesso that I put here on the cover of another sketchbook and on the inside of my regular Art Talents one. So I wanted to test out, first of all, the shadows for the petals and flowers and stuff, and I think they look really nice. So I'm going to try to do that on the canvas. I mean, the nice thing about acrylic paint is you can just paint over it if you don't like it, right? And then I was trying to think of background color. So I really like the blue, and I think I'm going to do the blue, even though on a big canvas, it might look pretty dark. We'll see, we'll see. Ray suggested a green. This is not the right green, so I might try to mix up another green to try that, but I also did some tests on Procreate. Like an orange multicolor background, kind of like Andy Warhol style. Why am I sitting on the floor? So we'll see. We'll see what turns out, but first things first is I have to paint the flowers. And I think if I do this blue color, I'm gonna go back to the art store and just buy a tube of the right color blue because I can't mix this over and over and over again. This is ultramarine with white, and if I try to keep mixing that, like I can't mix the whole amount for the whole background. Anyway, first things first, flowers, but probably not today. Anyway, that's where we're at. Next, we are going to start on the color palette for Art Hang Party on Thursday. So these are the references. And then I open Procreate and I open the photo. So you can see the photos are not very colorful, which is not going to be very fun. Not going to be very fun. Not going to be a very fun color palette. So what I do, I start at a new layer, zoom in here, and just pick colors. Like, I guess it's the different tones, shades here. Again, there's not a whole lot going on. Try to make it different. So that's on its own layer. So I just go through each photo, try to pick out like, well, in these cases, color. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I look like for a similar color, but not quite color. I think I'm gonna recommend, like, if I were doing this not on Art Hang Party, I would pick out my 4 favorite colors, or like a 4-color color palette, whatever, however I decide on that, and I would just use that. Because it's just gonna be grayscale. You know? This is not a very exciting one to show you. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on, and then I'll show you next steps when I get there. So there we go. There's our color palette. It's, again, not very inspiring. So we'll see how it comes together when I take it into Illustrator. Okay, it's sketch time. I've decided I'm gonna use Pinterest, and I searched fruit, and I'm just gonna draw the fruit as they come. So let me see if I can figure out how to get you so you can watch what I'm doing. I guess we're going back overhead. I'm just gonna, I had the sketchbook all lined up, but that's funny. Okay, whatever, that's how it is. Looks like I'm doing a single line contour drawing. I am looking. Might have to add color to these after. Fun. So I'm just gonna think I'm gonna continue doing the single line drawings. All right, there's some fruit. I think we're gonna try to color them. I'm gonna use Inktense paints and see how we go. I got my water brush here. Scroll back up to the top of Pinterest. Oh no, why does it do that? Just reset everything. It's gonna be really loose. Come on. I thought this ink was bulletproof. It's okay. I would say that was pretty fun. Oh, sorry. Pearlie's coming to inspect. That turned out actually pretty nice for not really having a plan. But I would say that turned out to be a pretty fun sketchbook session. Without having a plan and just wanting to use the fountain pen to draw some fruit, spontaneously grabbing my Inktense paints. That's quality sketchbook time. We still have to finish up the color palette, but I'll do that tomorrow, I think. And I'll show you how I do the image trace and everything and put the color palette together. I think if we just... Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, let's make a color palette. Here we are in Adobe Illustrator, and I just dragged in the swatches that I made on my iPad into Illustrator, into this file that I have set up. And then I went to Image Trace, and I have a preset made for Art Hang Party, which just basically is like the default, but removes white, so it doesn't get the background, and has a bunch of colors in it. So you just image trace and then you expand that, and then it turns whatever was just traced into vectors. So it turns, what is the term? Pixels into vectors or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, and then this is just me trying to make sense of organizing everything. What I do is just group or select like similar colors or similar tones, and then I use the align tool, and then I spread them out, move them over. It's really very simple. So it's really just a matter of grouping the light colors together. And then once that's done, I go down and I update the actual slides that I use for posting on social. So I select each individual square, select a color from above using the eyedropper tool, and just work my way through the 9 colors on these slides. And then I move to the next slide and copy all of the swatches and paste it on there. And then, so this is the post versions, and then there's the stories versions that I do the exact same thing, and then I export it and airdrop it to my phone for posting on social. It's really quite as simple as that. Hello and welcome to Tuesday Feels Like Friday. Just finished up a sketchbook session again with my fountain pen and Inktense paints. And I didn't mention yesterday, but this is the Strathmore Mixed Media sketchbook. The one we did the fruit in yesterday. And I had so much fun with the single line drawings with the pen, and then the Inktense paints, which are like basically watercolor but ink. So you can layer, even though I don't layer so much. And these are the Boston Celtics, at least 4 of them anyway. And I started saving, I guess I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I started saving, they're gonna win the championship this year, you watch. They do these like Celtics drip posts, like where like the fashion posts, them walking down the I don't know, hallway. So I started saving some of them because like sometimes their outfits are crazy. And really it's just like a bunch of handsome young men, right? So why not draw them? And so that's what I did today, and it was fun. It was fun. It is almost 8 o'clock, so I've been working on this for a good 2.5 hours, I think. It doesn't look like much, but it's a lot. Yeah, oh, tomorrow's art hang party, so this is gonna have to wait. It's more cats week at art hang party tomorrow. So maybe this is the end of the vlog, is it? I mean, it's already pretty long, so maybe we'll leave it there. Maybe I'll just do weekly vlogs from like Thursday to Wednesday or something, or like Friday to Wednesday. I don't know if I'm gonna vlog art hang party again. No need to do that, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I hope this second attempt at a vlog was good. We'll see how it all comes together. I'm enjoying making these, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Please, if you've made it this far, you like this vlog, you like this video, so please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave a comment below about something. What have you been working on this week? What have you been working on this week? Let me know what you've been working on this week. I think that would be a nice thing to comment so we can start a conversation. I don't know if I've ever really mentioned it. I do a weekly email over on Substack, so you can find the link to that below. I share, much like here, all of the work that I've made in my sketchbook and otherwise, plus information about next week's art hang party. So those typically go out on Sunday. Yeah, go check that out and sign up, and you can see me in your inbox. Simon is saying something. Okay, that means it's time for me to go and relax. I'll see you soon. I'll see you for art hang party tomorrow, even though it's probably not tomorrow when you see this. Anyway, I will see you soon.